Are you listening?
Woo! Well, there's coffee in Hillbilly's hand. This world gone crazy. This world gone mad. He usually drinks tea, it seems like. You know, we're not the MTG morning tea show. We're the morning coffee show, and he usually has tea.
Well, we could change it to lemonade.
No, don't change it to lemonade. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody in chat. Good morning, Hillbilly. Good morning to Balt's Apprentice. How you both doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Hold on a second. Tabal, you're muted. You're muted. Yeah,
okay,
muted.
There we go. All right. Besides being a little befuddled, I'm here and I'm happy to be here.
Nice. Oh, that's good. Oh man, it's a wonderful day. It is a Tuesday. It is a day that we had to sadly purchase a new microwave.
Ooh.
Ironically, I gotta start YouTubing and learning how to use old man stuff there. So we got a fun-filled show. So filled, I don't think we're going to do a deck of the day today because it's going to have a lot of questions that people are going to ask, especially when Tabalt's here. Tabalt really digs into questions and asks questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really neat when he does that. And so I didn't he surprisingly showed up and be happy and angry. So, James Willis, why do we have to be angry? So if you didn't know, the title of the show is Let's Get Angry at Magic.
I'll tell you why in a minute, but first let's hear what Torres has to say.
Well, first of all, I'm getting past the introductory and easing in everybody part because the first thing we do is, hey, Hillbilly, what's the first card of the day?
That would be the card of the day.
Card of the day.
Boom, right there. Card of the day. Ulamog Infinite Gyre. It's been card of the day before, but I want to show it off because it's still pretty cool. Yeah, Hillbilly, why don't you read this off?
Alrighty. Ulamog of the Infinite Gyre. For 11 mana. Ooh, that's costly. It's a 10/10 with indestructible. When you cast this spell, destroy target permanents. Ooh. And it also has Annihilator 4, which is whenever this creature attacks, defending player sacrifices 4 permanents. When Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre, is put into a graveyard from anywhere, its owner shuffles their graveyard into their library. Hey. Powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
It's the one I'm missing from my Eldrazi deck, but so saucy, so good when he hard cast it, and when he attacks, my Eldrazi deck came up. The reason why I looked up this card for the card of the day, even though it's been card of the day before, is because our topic kind of touches on it, because I was playing this deck about the night the topic starts off of, right? And there's many different ways to be angry at Magic, trust me. But this card is pretty awesome, pretty sweet, pretty swag. All right, now for pictures of the day, first of all, we got this coffee's ready sent by Mrs. Hillbilly. Yeah, she's like, girl's going nuts over coffee. And that's a professional setup there for a squirrel. I mean, so that coffee's being brewed. Jeez. Then the Lawson sent in this cool picture. I need to get this mug.
Here's all the people I beat at Magic.
Right? He's like, yeah, he shared this. I'm like, oh, I need that mug in my life. Then Mrs. Hillbilly sent these 2 happy little frogs. Little dinosaur frogs. It looks like a dinosaur frog. I mean, there's a tail on one, but they're happy singing. They're cute. They're a couple. Then Hillbilly sent me this picture. Boom.
Looking good there. I like it.
Right?
Running out of coffee.
Solar powered. I love it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Like he sent me this picture last night. I'm like, oh, are we gonna show this? Are we gonna start the show like this? And no, he still has a grip of hair on his head. No, way to disappoint the fans. I'm kidding. All right, but yeah, you do look good bald. Back in the day. Woo.
Yep.
All right, let's say hello to people in chat.
James
Willis.
Lawson.
James Willis. Maybe today's card should have been anger, right? So, Lawson. Whoop whoop. 4 keeps gaming. Whoa. Hello.
Zombie.
Hump day. Tomorrow's hump day. Today's Tuesday.
Yep.
Let's not speed up the week. All right, so the reason why Ulamog was chosen is because the other day we was playing a commander game. Hillbilly was there. I'm not gonna mention the name of the person who came in saying I can't. He's like starts the game, starts rule zeroing the idea that he's gonna be the mean Magic player that day. And he decides to play a mana burn land destruction deck. Right? Then he becomes target number 1 because, he's threatening everybody's lands and sadly didn't understand his commander fully to the point where when I started playing around his commander and people were playing his play styles and removing his pieces, and I got this big old Eldrazi on the board and swung at him to destroy his setup because, with Annihilator 4, I just made him sacrifice his important stuff. He got salty, even though he was trying to cause the whole table to be salty.
Yep.
And I'm like, why are we being salt? Like, why are you putting salt on a level where you were the one trying to make the whole table salty? And I just said, I got to the point to neuter the board. And funny enough, that wouldn't have happened if you didn't play this card to let everybody put down enchantments and stuff from their hand into play for free, because all I needed the ramp in an Eldrazi deck, and my commander tutors for a creature and puts it into play. And at this point, I had Fervor on the board to give my creatures haste, and I had this other enchantment that let me draw a card when a creature came into play. So I swung in, boom. I'm like, I'm gonna swing in this way just to neuter your board, cut that down. And and he got pump spell because then when I attacked him, I casted Finale of Devastation where I gave him plus X, which brought my creature to 24 points of damage. What Sabal can understand. He kind of felt the love test before.
I was going to say something about a certain player getting punched in the face for 18 points of damage, but we won't go there yet. But I didn't get salty. Well, maybe I didn't get salty about it. I don't think. I don't know.
You didn't.
I didn't.
But so the player who's trying to make the board salty got salty because of it. Because after that, there was no need to pay attention to him, no need to worry about his board state. That he was upset that we just didn't finish him from the game when I had other parts of the other players to worry about, because one player was getting huge on the board and he'd take care of that, but somehow the focus came on to getting to me because I was now the big threat with the big Eldrazi creature, and I didn't win the game, but I came in close.
Yep.
Then because it was the same night you came on because Hillbilly stepped out.
I watched
and you
it.
Jumped on,
I
and you got
it.
love taps for 18 points of damage. That was showing I cared.
I'm surprised that nobody else offered to step out to let other players come in and join the game.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Salmonella.
Hey, Ella.
Hey.
But I was you told me that other people wanted to join in on the game, so I decided, I've just played one game, so heck, I'll just step out and let somebody else join in. That way they can play too.
We appreciate that a lot because the ball had fun winning that game.
Yep.
I am not gonna lie or take credit for it and stuff. There was a lot of things that happened during that game that made it that paved the way for me to win there. So, but I was scared to death actually that Hillbilly was still going to be in there because that was a Diabolic Edict, or which one was it you had on the board?
No mercy.
No mercy.
No mercy. I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't let Hillbilly there because if he's going to play that, I'm dead.
Right.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
No, watching, like, you believe it or not, later that night after you played that deck, I started going through my cards to see if I could build that deck. Then I realized I don't have an extra lady. What was her name?
Narset.
Because like I have one that came in a precon. Narset, yeah, Narset.
Yeah, Narset.
And I was looking. I went through the cards. I went through my cards looking to see if I could possibly build that deck. And I'm like, no, I cannot. Dang it! I mean, I have a handful of cards, but nothing to be that fun. But it looked like a fun deck.
Yeah, you have a printer, don't you?
Oh, ink is expensive, home skillet.
Like, you have a printer, you have that card.
Right. Well, I have the card if I really want it.
Sure,
and she's not expensive at all. She's like $1 or something nowadays.
Not bad.
But no, printer I use for like crafting games for the wife for her channel that she's going to be starting up again in a bit. Nice. Like and I can proxy it. That's very true. But no, the thing is I don't have the cards to build it, and I'm not going to print out lots of cards.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. I personally don't like proxying cards myself much. Like, I love playing with the real cards. Like, even my cube, I have proxies in there that I feel disgusting about. So when I can, I'm going to try to get the new Ravnica lands that came out, the Cervelle lands, and replace the old dual lands that are in my cube.
The other wants to join in with us.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So when you said being angry about Magic, what I was thinking, or the first thing that occurred to me, is that even worse than being angry with Magic or in Magic, I was thinking about the fact that I'm apathetic about it, which I think is even worse. So unless I'm involved in a game, unless I'm feeling something, that's the only time that I really care about Magic is when I'm involved in it, as opposed to the way a lot of people feel about Wizards these days and stuff. Like I'm just numb to what they're doing these days. Right. So, like I said, the only time I'm personally involved is when we're in the middle of the game.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the thing that people are like ignoring when it comes to how they feel about Wizards of the Coast is playing the game. Is the game still good? Yeah. Unless you're actually following suit. Some people look at the market, the price value. They look at standard and how healthy that's doing. All right, we got Ella.
There.
I scoop it instant speed.
You scoop it instant speed. Hell yeah. You always.
I get angry at Arena, which is Magic, but it's digital form, and just like some decks I was going up against today, which was ridiculous. 100, 250 cards. They get everything they need. I don't get nothing that I need.
Right.
And they win. I mean, you play that in paper, ain't no way you're going to get what you need.
Well,
no dang sense.
It'd be illegal in paper because you can't have more cards than you can shuffle in your hands, is what my understanding of the ruling, anyhow.
Well, if you can't shuffle your deck, you're not supposed to play it.
Well,
even though but people have bypassed it for funsies. Like one time I had a friend when I was in Game Grid Ogden. They had a whole 60 card deck, and each card was in like a thick top loader. What, not top loader, but when those those cases where you screw in The
Oh my
cards
gosh.
and they're thick, and they're like that thick. Each card that
Oh.
thick, and he had like 2 stacks, like this big for his deck, and he shuffled it, and he determined which deck was. And the poor guy thought it was going to be funny and hilarious to play it. Then like game 2, he took all the cards out of the case. He was playing lots of tutors.
I could see that, but like, how would you hold that?
Like he was like doing this, and, like holding on the table, setting them up, looking at him, playing it. But he's playing lots of tutors, right? So now on top of that, he has to go through his deck and shuffle it.
Oh man,
It can't too much of a hassle.
Yeah.
Let's see, Steel Lawson. That's not true. Battle of Wits, you have a big deck to ball. Well, Battle of Wits is 200 cards, not 250, and people can play it. Like the rules say, if you can shuffle it, you should be okay. If you can't shuffle it, they suggest you don't play it. There's no rules against your deck limit.
Right.
If you can't shuffle it, you can't take it to a tournament.
Right.
200 cards, people can shuffle. And I've seen people shuffle it. I've seen Battle of Wits played at a pro tour. It did well for a bit, but didn't go far. Because Battle of Wits, and that card has some salt on my tongue. One time I went to a pre-release, like for the weekends, and each pack I pulled a Battle of Wits twice out of 3, and as a joke, the last day I pulled a Wits End. I'm like, you serious? I'm like, how does this fit? I got 2 Battle that pissed me off. No good pack, no good cards in the pack to build a solid deck. Then at the 3rd day, I pull a Wits End. I'm like, Battle Wits End. This is just ridiculous.
It's
3rd day was a little better. What?
It was a message. I'm at my
It
wits
was.
end with this nonsense.
It was nonsense. But like getting angry at Magic, it's you need a healthy outlet to get it to release your stress, and I think playing Magic's a good place to release your anger. It's not good. He's Billy like this. Like if you release your anger, put your energy into your play style, your synergies. Play your deck. Let the game distress you, not people. Like there are times I use Magic to de-stress because I'm like, oh, I'll pull out a deck that's easy to run, like my Rafik deck, and I'll play that because I don't have to think so much because I know the deck inside and out. I can play this, but sometimes I need to step away from the game, have a Tootsie Pop outside, relax. I've done that before.
Sometimes playing Magic will make you angry.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it varies on how personally you take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like most of the times I don't take it personal. Some people like to try to make it personal, and they're like, I want to attack you and only you, and I'm going to go after you, only you. And I'm like, and some people will like go with a vengeance. Like one time I had a salty incursion where, so house rules here, and you guys seen it. You guys used it on my show here, where you got infinite mulligans. Right. Then the one time I was at a shop, I'm like, well, at our house we do infinite mulligans, and this guy broke the code where he went for the most broken hand and wiped us out like by turn 3. And he did that on purpose, and when he's done, he's skipping up stuff. So sorry, I'm just a competitive player. And I'm like, you motherfucker. I purposely built a casual deck, and you went out of your way to scoop.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, the other important thing too is no matter how upset you get, try not to take it into the next game, and that's I won't say that's a problem that I have, but okay, it is a problem I have. Not because I'm ever mad about it, but I've been known to come back and gun for people later, with a specific deck. I think I already told one story about that, what happened when I first got back into Magic, but I won't go over that again. But that's something that I've worked on, and that's something to encourage other people to do is, try to leave it at that game,
right,
and not necessarily carry it the whole night. And that's what I'm working on, trying not to carry it the whole night. I can do it a day later when I come back or whatever, but man, sometimes that night, man, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get you. Oh, I'm going to get you.
Oh, I feel that because that's one of the reasons why like when I do like 2 games a night, I'll switch decks. Because when you play the same deck, sometimes you have like the deck memory and every memory that you had in that game. So you need to switch your thought process, your play
That's a good point. I like that. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Keeping my temper down is when I feel, sometimes it's not always the truth, that I'm the target of everybody.
Yeah.
I do feel it a lot, and don't get me wrong, I know that like recently I've been playing a little spicier decks, so they do need to get dealt with, but I just want to play some things.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, like the last deck you played, that was like a Salt Engine deck.
Which the mana burn one?
Yeah, that was a good deck, you know. But that was asking for salt there.
Yep.
but it's not a bad deck. It was just you like I remember when you set out certain cards, you really painted a picture. If you don't handle me, you're gonna lose your board.
I didn't lose your board. I was just pinging you for a lie. You're gonna get pinged a couple times. Just
right.
That hurt.
One thing that helps you not be so salty is sometimes you're looking for a dice bag. So you go to cardsutopia.com where you can buy sweet Magic the Gathering dice bags and swag like this, or like that over on the left over there or the right. You can get sweet vinyl dice bags, you can cut lapel pins and custom paintings for your cool artistic pleasures on the wall. Be awesome with all this stuff. All this can be found at cardsutopia.com. Boom, 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 bing.
I like
Look
that.
how
Captain Waffles.
Yeah, look how I segued in that. That was so smooth.
That was smooth.
Yeah. I'm learning from you, DePaul.
That's pretty coffee cup. That was really cool. You definitely have some of my tears in that cup.
I think all of us have tears in someone's coffee cup like that. You know, the difference is you're still coming up the ladder of playing all these different decks, Ella. That you're going to go through these realms of salty players and sometimes being the salt slayer yourself, where we've been through a lot of salt ourselves because there was times when we were playing, especially people like Paul and I who played for a long time, who had to survive the Mirrodin outcome when Mirrodin was the most broken format ever. You know,
that was right. And to make it worse, that was the time that I got into the game. I got back in again. And Mirrodin Besieged and New Phyrexia and stuff. That was the time that I had just kind of picked it up and started going to the LGS and stuff again for the first time in a few years. I moved back from.
When Infect was like the new thing.
Yeah, Blightsteel Colossus. Oh, I love me some Blightsteel. Want to talk about salt?
Right, Blightsteel Colossus is nuts. Pretty cool. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna blow up Hillbilly really quick because I gotta go check something. And let him.
All right. How's everybody doing today?
Another beautiful day.
Okay, what's going on? Anyone seen Rip's ship last night? No, I haven't. What about you, guys? What about you, Tybalt?
Nope. Like I said, these days I'm gonna say out loud that I could care less what products they're putting out and what's going on. I only care when it affects me at the table. That's how I learn new cards. But, I do care what they do, but generally I don't go out of the way to look at anything because until I'm holding that card in my hand, that comes from when I started playing and stuff where I didn't have the money to get all the cards, all the expensive cards, all this or that. So I always built the habit of just focusing on what I held in my hand, what was right in front of me, what can I build with what I have, and so on. So I just never got into and sadly, or maybe it's better, I don't know. I never broke that mindset. That's why I was never concerned with proxies, never concerned with a lot of things that focused on the game because unless the cards were in front of me or unless somebody was playing it against me, I wasn't worried about it. Since becoming a content creator, I've got to spread that out a little bit more and actually pay attention to what's happening around me, or at least I should be if I'm going to be any good at this. But yeah, for the most part, I'm only worried about like what the cards are being used against me and what Tortoise is punching me in the face with.
Nice. A serialized bobblehead.
Ooh.
Cool.
How's
Yeah, what's up? Oh, I saw that on Discord. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So, if I don't know how much time Ella has on his hands when it comes to content creation, but being a new player, I think he has the gumph that if he could like kind of showcase what it takes for him to study, to learn new decks, like film like how he looks up decks, how he, like even proxying when he prints out stuff, puts that together, how he makes strategies. I think that'd be good content to help to teach newer players like, hey, Magic doesn't have to be so expensive all the time. Here's a way to negate some of the cost while you build up your skill level playing. Because Ella's surprisingly, and not like surprisingly, shouldn't be able to do it, but surprisingly, he's really crept up from a new novice player to like, I'm going to start playing some salt decks player because I'm getting good at knowing the game.
so okay? So I think that's what I really love about me. I'm a jack of all trades, and I like to learn, and I learn really quickly.
Right.
I may not retain all of that information. That's a different conversation. But it's if I don't try and I don't understand. And I heard mana burn was nasty. And let's talk specifically about that mana burn. Because like right now, one of my other biggest problems and what is actually pissing me off the most is because I have a printer and I have EDH Rec and Moxfield and Scryfall as legitimate. Like I've got access to everything, and if I want to question it, I can just, and I've got the answer in a result, and within 45 seconds, I could have, like these are Lorcana, but like in 45 seconds, I can literally have a card on the table.
Right.
So I think for me, that's what is actually my problem. Is I just upgraded Millicent. I think it's 15 cards in, so a little bit more than an upgraded precon, but 15 cards in, 15 cards out, and damn, I literally just finished playing a game this morning and had a Smothering Tithe and what was the other one? Ristic Study, both out on the battlefield, and I became the problem instantly. Mind you, those two cards are a problem. And having them both out on the battlefield is pretty gross. But not a single moment did I have another card that wasn't on the battlefield until they got pinged off that wasn't Millicent's precon.
Right.
And I was the problem.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's because you're stepping on the edge of, like, CEDH territory while still learning Commander as a general. When you're getting these really powerful deck ideas and you're playing them, you're kind of playing with fire because you're pushing the edge, and that's not a bad thing. You're just finding your foot in Magic.
Okay, so experienced players. Here's the biggest question that I have as a new deck builder.
Right?
How do I go to EDH Rec or Scryfall or any of these databases to learn about cards? And how do I tone it back?
Well, so it wouldn't be more like toning back. What I think you should do, like just in general, is like I like to Google search, and I'll type in MTG, and I'll find an ability that I want more of when building a deck, like say Exalted, right? For like Rafik, and I'll type in MTG Exalted, and I'll let the Wizards of the Coast website pop up. What was it called? What Wizards card base?
The Oracle or the what is it? Wow, brain fart.
Let me see.
Wow.
Let me just Google search MTG.
That's
the
what
Gather.
Scryfall does, basically.
Yeah, the Gatherer. And I kind of
The
try.
Gatherer.
Yeah, I go to the Gatherer. Sometimes I go to Scryfall. I'll type in Exalted to show what they got. But the Gatherer will show you it's like usually it's a few pages long. But if you type in like Exalted, it'll show you every card that has Exalted in it.
Yeah.
And I'll assess which cards are good for the kind of deck I'm building, what cards are bad. Then when it comes to removal for like other decks that don't deal with Exalted, like my Nekazar deck, not Nekazar, I wish I had Nekazar, my Thraxamunder deck, my zombie deck that's more like Sacrifice Tribal. I'll try to find all the creatures that I can with abilities that say when this creature enters the battlefield, target opponent or each player sacrifices a creature to build the synergy. So, and because like let me walk down a path with you, and it'll show you that I will. It shows you that I came from a different direction. See, I used to be the hardcore Magic player who played the Salt decks myself. Then I got into this family and got them started playing Magic, and I was the hardcore Salt player, threat level #1 all the time. Then I had to, instead of being Salt player #1, I had to work myself into turning myself into more of a thematic player, more of a theme player, the more than I was an aggressive, competitive player. And so I had to switch that around. And that's because I had to make it fun for everybody else because I was taking the fun out of it for everybody else at that realm.
I've got a more direct answer to your question of how to maybe approach it, and that is to in my case I would say just play one strategy at a time. Have the deck built, have everything in there, but just focus on I'm going to do this one thing. Because if you spill everything on the table, you are going to become the threat and people are going to come after you right away. So this is a problem that I've had, and well, I won't say have because I'm working on it. But in the past, that has often been an issue. So talking a little bit about what I was talking with Tortoise before and mentioned, it's like I was very upset with the game of Commander because for two things. One, I felt targeted, and two, I felt like I didn't have deep enough pockets to play the game.
Preach.
And so I thought like this, I got to a point where like I'm almost ready to quit this game because like I'm not having fun playing Commander. And I got into Commander because I thought it was cheaper. I only needed one of each card. There were a whole bunch of things that were going on in my head. I didn't necessarily express this to the people I was playing with at the time, but that's how I felt on the inside. Like I really felt like maybe this isn't for me and stuff because I just can't get it. But I came across this is another story for another time. But anyhow, I came across the website. I came across the deck. I came across a budget deck that was $35, and I played it, and the synergies worked perfectly. It's not an overpowered deck, but it had synergies that worked. And like that's when I started to get into different ways of thinking. Like, oh, I can approach this game from a different level. Anyhow, a way to not become to be able to play Salt and not play it is just sprinkle a little bit on there. Just work on a combo or two. Nothing that's going to make you seem like the threat to start with, but laying out your strategy just a little bit slower. Hold the cards back a little bit. Don't put everything out the first turn. I know you've got maybe combo pieces, but get a combo piece out. See if it stays on the board for a little while. If it does, maybe 2 turns later, put the next piece out. And one of the other things too, though, that I do, and I possibly shouldn't, is I do announce to the table though, like when I'm doing stuff, because I want everybody to have a chance to play. It depends on the game. It depends on the pod too. You feel out the pod also, but I will announce when I'm about to go infinite. But I'm not going to tell them, until I'm maybe a card away or something. Like, well, a lot of times older players will recognize combo pieces. Newer players might not. But to keep it fair and to keep it fun, I'll try to do that. But initially, start playing your cards just a little bit slower. I know it's hard to pull back. Like I said, the whole Mad Saxon thing, I was balls out, just channel Fireball. I was the first one in my group to play it. I loved it. But, I will cut my arm off to beat you to death with it if I can. But older, a little bit more mature, I've stepped back from that a little bit. But again, like Torta said, I've done that also too, to allow other people a chance to shine in the game too and stuff. With my wife learning how to play, like I can't go hard all the time, though she picks stuff like slivers and stuff like that to start with. So I don't know, maybe some of that rubbed off on her or whatever. But anyhow,
Right.
I think that's a way to play and not become arch enemy, right from the get go.
Like in certain play groups, like at home when we play, if I got to win, that's going to happen in a turn or two. I'll give my play group here at home. I'll be like, okay, here's what's happening. I says I got to win. That's going to happen in the next turn or two or so. It says I am your target. If you can't handle me, I'm going to win. And I tell them that I'm like, if you can't handle me, I'm going to win. And I'm telling you this so you can target me. So they can target me and put a focus so they don't go against each other. Because my play group at home, whenever we play, they don't know Magic like I do. Like I have 750 cards in my cube. We used to play this game where my wife would say, "What's this card do?" And she'll name the card, and I'd be like, "Oh, this card, this mana cost. Here's this power toughness. This is what it does." Or it's a sorcery, does this. I used to be able to do that like crazy. Not as much anymore because there's so many swapped out and whatnot. But we used to do that where I could memorize cards for days. So like I said, I had to work back from my competitive edge into less of a competitive edge. Because it's so easy to get competitive. And the problem with being competitive and getting that competitive edge is you stop learning as a newer player, like a newer player mindset, because you already figured everything out. So why do you need to learn anything else that doesn't work? That's how it feels. Like why learn a stupid combo? Like being competitive, I've died to combos I never knew existed or didn't see coming because I didn't pay attention to it. So
the other thing is, it's a big old badge of honor to be taken out first too.
Right.
Sometimes.
If they see you as the threat, that means that they saw you as the threat.
Right.
I put 2 cards in my Miram deck, and I didn't realize the synergy that it does. 3 cards, and it has gone gross real quick. Astral Dragon. What's it called? And Sakashima of 1,000 Faces, because I saw somebody talking about double. Oh no, somebody played my deck better than me, so I went, oh, I can put that in my deck. Let me try that. And then what was the enchant? Sorry, I'm just quickly looking for it right now. Littjara, yeah. So Littjara with Sakashima and Miram out on the battlefield. It's an Astral Dragon. It's gross because Astral Dragon will create copies of things. I didn't even see this freaking combo in here until I played it, and I was like, what did I just do? Yeah.
Juggle catches. I'm used to building decks for speed and death at all costs. Possibly. That's insane. And so like back in the day, like I have this video way back in the day. It was to teach people how to build commander decks, and it was for newer players to learn to teach them how to build more tempoed out mid-range decks. And I didn't say that in the video, tempo range, mid-range decks, but it was more of a control style deck purchase. Here's how many removal spells, board wipes, and spells you should play besides your deck. So it gives you time to build your deck.
Please remind me of that formula, please, because I've heard that a couple times. There's you should play 36-ish lands, about 7 of things, and maybe 5 of these guys, and 20 some odd. What's that quote unquote baseline starting point?
So 37 lands is where I'd like to start nowadays. 36 if you're more aggressive in early game. 38 if you're more controlling. Well, let me see if I can find that video. It was a long time ago. Because it's still valid. It's just a boring video, and I sucked at making videos.
Maybe it's time to update it.
Yep.
Redo it with more flash and panache.
Right? I should probably update it. But right now, I'm actually trying to come up with I'm trying to find my footing on a video idea. I need to record MTG3 video. I need my brain. Like my brain's trying to be creative, and I I need to do the MTG3 video, and I've like right now. Where are we? Oh, here we go.
Going to say one thing, of course, is don't fall into the trap of, because my wife asked me the same thing recently, getting into the game and stuff. She wants a formula for the best way to build, and it's like,
no. I'm very much a no that this is just a guideline.
A guideline, exactly.
Starting.
Yeah.
So like the way I started building my decks is I have a box of jank. And I just pull out. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's do elves. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do Lathril. I have Lathril. I'm gonna pull out 37 lands that are 37 basic lands. Split them between the 2 colors or 3 colors, whatever it is. That's how I started. And then there's my land base. I'm just gonna pull, and then after that, I'm just gonna pull cards that look and sound and similar to, and then I'll break it down into those piles. But never put away the cuts.
Right.
Because sometimes I will go back for a cut later down the line once I realize synergies and movements.
Right. So I just shared the link with you in private chat and in regular chat.
Woohoo.
Yeah. So that's an old school video. You'll see how derpy I am. Like even my recordings, like I talk really slow. But once you get to the scope part, like if you can find the scope part, it'll have the breakdown of everything right there. And it's a good starter base for learning deck building, because that's all you want to do. The numbers listed are not definitive. Like you can maneuver them, change them around to deck style. Because like my Rafik deck goes against that scope, because I run like 2-3 pieces of removal in that deck and maybe 1 or 2 board wipes compared to where I normally do in a control deck. And then a ton of early game creatures where I can smack Mad Saxon for 18 by turn 3.
I'm just grateful that that I didn't start out being the focus of that initially, because wow, that was ouch.
Mm-hmm.
It couldn't have gone much further and stuff, man, because I was not long for the world with that game, and I felt bad because Ella wasn't getting the land. A whole lot of things came together for me to win that game, but bam, just. He's like, I'm gonna make you get. What did you tell me? You told me I was gonna have to sacrifice Narset, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, if it's not gonna kill me this turn, I'm gonna see at least one more turn with her. And what a turn it was.
Oh yeah, what a turn! But yeah, so the Rafik deck was ironically built in the same vein as the budget deck you were talking about. Its original base was actually. The deck's more powerful than it was when I first started, but the original base of the deck was killing a player around turn 3, turn 4 on average.
Nice.
And the only thing I upgraded was different spot removals and stuff to keep the deck in the game, where this one would try to remove a player by turn 4, turn 5 to now, if I lost my creature by then, it would be hard for me to gain. And I just worked up the deck so it could stay in the game longer. So I
is that on Archidec or Moxfield or something? Or did you put your decks out there or no?
The Wookiee.
Let's see. Tapped out, I believe.
Oh, it's on tapped out. Okay.
I don't have it on. I don't have this version. I don't have this version of the deck on Archidec yet. Let's see. I have to type in.
I'm gonna redo this and put this deck list into my Moxfield for my Miram deck, and I would love for your guys' input. I'll drop it into Turtle's channel. I would love to hear what you guys have to think about that spicy, and or how I can fix it to make it a little more playable more often. Besides, take Miram out.
All right, see. Doesn't know.
I mean, there are commanders that are immediate targets, and she is definitely an immediate target. Your Necrons, everything is an immediate target.
Yeah, definitely. My Narset usually is, and that's the reason why I don't play that deck too often. But I was scared of how spicy some of Tortoise's decks have been recently, and I was terrified of Hillbilly on there. Hillbilly and his life gain, man. That just didn't know how to deal with that.
All right, it doesn't look like I have the deck updated or upgraded. I don't have to put it on Moxfield. All right, or Architect. I like Architect a lot. So I don't have to go there. Let's see. You said you put it in private chat.
I'm doing it right now. Sorry, I have to redo the deck list completely because I changed too much on this for it to be the last deck list. I just have to restart.
Well, are you going to be able to be on tomorrow?
Possibly, yeah.
Because we got like 15 minutes left of the show, and if we do it,
I was talking about let's have a conversation in the Discord and continue the conversation.
If you want to have a conversation, make a whole episode
about it, sure.
Yeah.
Show up on that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Like, well, it'd be fun. Like,
yeah.
Yep.
And Tibalt has too many decks.
You're right. I mean, and this is as I'm putting them in because I'm trying to put all 30 of them in Moxfield, and I'm realizing what my shortcomings are there too, as far as I'm getting down to the less played ones, some of the less played commanders, and I'm seeing that that I've spread myself thin and maybe haven't focused on winning. But I mean, that's part of the fun. And I think I have yet to, my problem is I never want to take them apart. Like once I build them, like I don't want to take them apart. So I set them aside. So I think I will go through again though. And the other thing is because my wife is getting into it, and she's like sorting through my cards. So I'm going to actually try to upgrade all of them. But as it stands, all of them are at least getting played.
Right.
Again, I'm definitely at an advantage because I have multiple stores to play at, and I can get multiple games in a week. A lot of people don't even have an LGS that they can go to. So they're limited to Spell Table. And I've realized that Spell Table also limits some of the decks that I can play. I did play Amanatu on there and stuff, but like I would never be able to ultimate her because like, how am I going to switch everybody's, battlefield or whatever and stuff like that? So some of those things don't make sense, but
yeah, my
you're absolutely right.
Too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like what is it? I know that's another thing. Spell Table kind of changes the way you normally do things, like how you build decks. Like you're not going to run Thieves Auction in Spell Table.
Yeah.
I got 30 lands, all specialties, 36 creatures, no colors. Interesting.
Nice.
I just want to play. We have LGS in my town. Yep.
Man.
Spell
Table's a way to play it, but
yep.
Pause Brown, what's up?
There's Pause.
Right. And good luck with the surgery on the 7th. Just hang out with the mom. Be awesome. Be cool.
Yep.
Yeah, see, I was lucky Pause didn't go after me. He went after Tortoise.
All right. Well, I was the legitimate threat at the time.
For sure.
Remember, because I went after Pause. I'm like, I'm not going to die. I'm not going to be the second one to die first. I'm going to be the first one to die before the winner was selected. Yeah, I want to get you out of there, so I'm number 2. But yeah.
And Paul's was a big old threat with those slivers.
Well, it's because like I was trying to get rid of Narset. Like I should have gone after Pause. But Narset's Value Town, the way he has that deck built, because like he was pulling all these non-creature spells that are doing good.
Yeah, she's the only creature in it and stuff. That's why I was terrified again that Hillbilly was going to be in there, because like as soon as it said sack a creature, it's like all over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sack a creature? No. You misheard me because I said I'm gonna make you sacrifice that creature because I was gonna push you to block.
Yeah, no, I thought you had me then, but yeah. Luckily,
Yeah,
I
no.
didn't. So I'll take that big old punch in the face, nose bleeding and everything.
Yeah, it just shows how much I care.
I'm still working on my vampire deck. There's a few more cards that I need.
No, you're done. It's fine. Don't touch it. Don't do anything else to it.
Is this your first? Is your vampires deck your first build, or is it a pre-con?
It's both.
Yeah, it's both. All my decks are both because I've worked on my dinosaur deck, I've worked on my merfolk deck, worked on my vampires. I worked on my vampires more than I have the other ones.
Yeah, dinosaur deck needs some upgradings and stuff. His merfolk deck needs some upgradings and stuff. But like his vampire deck's been like his little treasure trove of
With reason.
awesome.
Yeah, that deck is mean.
Yeah.
Like there's a vampire that I can't remember the name of the vampire. It's a flippy vampire that makes 2/2 vampire bats. Yeah, but like if you look at the picture, like it looks like Edward from
I think I
Twilight.
know. Yeah, I think I know the card you're talking about. If it dies, it turns into an enchantment and throws out tokens.
No,
Yeah.
it's from Original Innistrad.
And that was loud. Car going down the road.
He makes bat tokens and he transforms and makes vampire tokens.
Hmm.
Then,
I think I actually recognize that card instance. You're down here.
Was this it? Yes. Let me save image. All files. Let's save it as a PNG. There we go. Let me post up here so you guys can see it. Where are we? There we go. Boom. Go here because it's called Bloodline Keeper.
Hmm.
All right. And did you not save? God damn it. All right. Give me one more second. Let's go to Scryfall. I know the name of the creature. There we go. Let's see. Save image as, because I want to show you. Like, when you look at the picture, it looks like Edward from the girly vampire show.
Twilight. Not that I knew that right off the top of my tongue there.
I do know exactly who you're talking about. I had to watch that nonsense a couple times.
My wife's a fan of the show. All right, here we go. So here's the front end. Bloodline Keeper. Costs 2 generic, 2 black, 3/3 flying. You tap it to put a 2/2 black vampire creature token with flying on the battlefield. These tokens you can turn into demons too.
Oh.
You can pay black, transform Bloodline Keeper to activate this ability only if you control 5 or more vampires. So he transforms in the Lord of the Lineage. So there's a creature vampire. It's 5/5. Other vampires you control get +2/+2. And you can tap to put a 2/2 black vampire creature token with flying into play.
You'd think I'd have a vampire. It's one tribe, the one whatever that I don't have is vampires and stuff. You think I'm sitting here in a Vampirella t-shirt and everything, but like Hillbilly has it, so I don't feel like it needs to be done again.
Right. But see, Bloodline Keeper would be really good for his deck. And still holds a decent price too. It's like what? It's like a $6 card. No, the Secret Lair is a $6 card. The Innistrad version is like $13.01. So you get a Secret Lair version for like some childish looking one. Whatever. That's a foil version, yeah. So the cheapest one you can get the Secret Lair version on the market for $6, or you can pay $13 for the original version. Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to share that because some people might like that card, or sometimes you just don't forget. And like this Bloodline Keeper, the front side, if you look at his face, looks like Edward from Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boop.
Kind of reminds of Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah. If Johnny Depp played Edward from Edward Scissorhands from Twilight, it'd probably be a different movie.
Yep. That would Oh.
MTG game, Bob. What's going on?
Game and bomb. Been scared to play
Tortoise and
my
Hare deck. I
Bottle
love
Rock
it.
deck. Yeah. All right. Have a magical day, y'all. The waffles, later jugs. Someone needs to make a rabbit tribal deck. They need, yeah. Well, maybe they'll. I believe there's a rabbit tribal deck being made in Bloomborough.
Oh, Bloomborough, sure.
Actually, someone needs to make a tortoise and the hare commander deck. That'd be fun. Like I'm close enough to be building more of a tortoise deck, but it looks like I'll probably be running Merfolk and vehicles. I'm so confused. When I get my sleeves in, I'll have an extra pair of sleeves to move over. Yay!
Ooh.
All right, so now we got this far. Like I said, I didn't have a deck of the day plan because I knew we'd conversate into it. So let me play the doohickey for the first
The
part.
deck of the day is brought to you by Redcubleather. High quality leather deck boxes and merchandise. Customizable options are available. The link is in the description box below.
I want to be the best.
There we go. Now it's time for the shill segment. Boom.
All right. Well, I am at 378 subs now. Getting closer and closer to that 400 sub giveaway. And once we get there, there will be awesome prizes for the giveaway. And all you got to do is be a subscriber. And when it gets time for the giveaway, you'll know how to. I'll tell you how to enter the giveaway when we get to 400 subs. And also, I'm going to start doing Commander once a week on Saturdays. So if you want to play some Commander on Saturday, all you got to do is let me know that you want to play on Saturday, and we'll play. We'll pull up, get on this build table, and play some games of Commander.
What time?
It'll be around probably around 2:00 Central Standard Time on Saturdays.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I'm not having much luck doing it every day, so we'll do it on
Right.
Saturdays.
Anything to shill? Ella the Hugger.
Oh, hello, friends. I missed you guys. Do check out my content. Check out my channel. There is content coming. I do have, I think they're uploading right now, but I do have within like today or tomorrow, a couple shorts coming out. I did some pack battles with my daughter, and I opened up a couple packs. The dollar store pack series is continuing strong. I've been getting a lot of nice bulk out of it, so I'm not going to stop that anytime soon. And hopefully you'll see me on Saturdays down there, wherever that was, and then over there on both Saturday. Yeah, both of y'all are on Saturday now.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
hopefully I'll see you twice on Saturdays.
Twice. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna
And
be my Commander game's gonna be before Tortoise's Commander game because his is at nighttime, around 8:00 Central Time.
I think I might start recording my games instead of streaming, because streaming is not viable at my normal location. If you haven't noticed, my background has changed, and I'm going back home in about 2 weeks. So thank you very much. I love you guys.
Love ya. And now, the Bolt. Boom. Shill Master.
Hey, I wish that was the case. I've really got nothing too much to shill. I will have some more long form videos coming on Tibble's Apprentice on YouTube soon. Right now, I'm still in the process. As a matter of fact, today is set aside for uploading the rest of, well, not the rest of, but 5 more new Commander decks, as well as my wife's decks. She's made some improvements to those, and that might be worth checking out. Her fungus deck is coming along quite nicely.
Nice.
But anyhow, so you can find me on YouTube. If you want to keep up with more up-to-date or everyday type content or whatever, you can find me on Instagram, Tibbles_Apprentice on Instagram. And of course, check out Darc Ritual shop, TCG player seller Darc Ritual, which would be me. in California. That's the one in California. There was a couple of Dark Rituals for a while. I think other folks have dropped off, but I'll be the number one or 100% feedback seller there in California. That's me. So yeah, shop there if you want to. Shop at your LGS where you first of all. But anyhow, keep up with me at Instagram on a daily basis and YouTube. It just in general closer to that 500 mark where I'm going to crack my my box back here. So that will be something to look forward to.
Woo-hoo-hoo. You and I should somehow do a collaborative video together.
We absolutely should.
And I think I got an idea. We'll talk about it because I think it'd be fun because you're so fun with what you do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, Showmaster Tortoise is here in the house, and remember, you can't see the box over here, but there's a box full of playmats will be given away in the near
future.
But
it's the size of a table. That's too big.
Right? No, not the size of a table. But the box is the size of this table. But
exactly.
No, they're extra large. They're extra large playmats. They're about yay big. They're really cool. And in the future, we'll begin sleeves to give away and some other cool stuff coming up. But the playmats are going to be here, so make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. So when we give away playmats to the subscribers, you'll be notified. I'm just waiting for tubes to come in that we can pack them up, ship them off in tubes. Hell yeah! So content for today. Today is Tuesday, and normally don't have any content on Mondays, Sundays, and Tuesdays. So tomorrow will be a fun-filled day. Thursday will be a fun day. Friday will be another great day because Wednesdays and Fridays I do video games at 8 p.m. Woo-woo. I've been starting a little earlier sometimes, playing Spider-Man on PS4. I suck at the game, but doesn't mean you can't have fun watching me lose, all right? So you can come on over and check it out. And I want to thank everybody who's been here today. Hillbilly, thank you. Ella, thank you. And to Balt, whoop, whoop. Hell yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you, everybody in chat, for liking the video, being amazing, and spazzing out just like Ella. You guys are awesome. Until next time, my friends, play wise, have fun, and listen to Lord Megatron.
Shockwave! What is your command, Megatron?
Subscribe for Magic the Gathering and other content for evil fun.
Fear not, Megatron. Cybertron shall remain as you